Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so it's been a while since I've made a video. I just wanted to make a video explaining where the hell I've been, what the hell I've been up to. The short version is that I've been moving my stuff over to a new computer. The wife bought me a new computer specifically so we could put Roblox on it and I could start learning scripting in order to help with the development of the game that I'm trying to make. And in between, like, bashing my head repeatedly into learning this scripting stuff for like a couple hours a day, I have been basically playing a lot of Diablo 2. I played a ladder fresh Diablo 2 with Dwarf Lord. We'll be talking about that in a second. He made an entire video on his experience with it that basically amounted to he's playing with a bunch of dumbasses, and I am one of the egotistical dumbasses to be mentioned. So I'm like, okay, well, if he's going to make a video on his experience playing Diablo 2, I might as well make a video on my experience in playing Diablo 2. And my experience is not going to be very, what's the term here? It's not going to be very good of poor Dwarf Lord, but, you know, it is what it is. But before we do that, I'm going to showcase some of the scripting crap that I've been learning these days. So let's pull up Scripting Studio here, or Roblox Studio. Let's get our happy little ass in here, yada, yada, yada. So some of the things that almost broke my brain with scripting is the concept of scope. I have two concepts of scope in scripting at this point. My first concept of scope is, you know how when you're making, like, when you're putting together like a chair or a table or a whatever the hell, usually something your wife has bought, or you're starting like a small little construction project, and you have a toolbox full of tools, but you know you're aware you're going to need a few tools. So you're going to need like a flathead screwdriver, you're going to need like an Allen wrench, maybe a socket wrench. You're going to need like a handful of bolts of a certain millimeter, and then you're going to need some washers, right? And you're aware of all the stuff that you need. So us humans will like pull out all the items that we require and set them in a separate pile before consulting the instructions or that we're going to use to build whatever the hell it is that we're building. Scope kind of works the same way. Or at least that's kind of its purpose. But in reality, the other concept of scope I have is like branching paths on like a highway to help you understand what's in and out of scope. All right, so first thing I think I'm going to do here is, do I want to go to model? I don't think I want to go to model. All right, let's open a new script. And I'm going to start typing in. We're going to try a script to change the base plate. Random ass colors. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Local, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, so find first child and parent, or specifically if I go like local, banana, that's not how you spell banana, equals script, and you can just press tab, script dot parent source change enabled, right? So I guess we can go parent, right? Script.parent. According to Roblox, that's trying to... from what I'm understanding, this is like a completely different way of writing what I'm about to write here. Let's see here. We're going to go local banana equals green value, yada, yada. All right, so we're going to go game.workspace.baseplate. And I'm just going to name it banana because it can be anything. But you'll notice that I've typed that in right there. The whole purpose of doing that is to basically bring it into scope. So I'm basically telling the computer, hey, I want you to literally go into game. I want you to open workspace like over here, and I want you to gain access to the base plate, which is actually a thing in the game. And that's basically brought that into scope, and now I can start writing some crap to play around with it. So we're going to do a while loop. So it'd be like while true do, and then we're going to go down here. Wait. You already know the tab? Yeah, fuck you. I already know this. Oh, I didn't type true right. Derp. While true do. Come on, let's come down. Well, you don't like that end, do you? Let's get rid of that, just in case there's something that screws up. The Roblox Studio is pretty good about filling in the blanks if I screw something up. So the reason why it's acting really funny right now is that if I don't... I'm starting a while loop, but if I don't close the goddamn while loop, it'll like bug out. The game will basically crash. So it's giving me a hard time. It's like you haven't closed the while loop. You haven't told it when the fuck to stop. So it'll check it like a million bazillion times a second and then crash the game basically. If I don't close this thing. Anyways, let's go math dot blah 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 base dot color. Okay, we're gonna go local red value. That's actually a thing. I wonder why it didn't pop up. Whatever. Equals math dot random. Was that a event? That's kind of interesting. Math.random. Yeah, it's purple, so it might be an event. That can't be right, though. Didn't have the lightning bolt. Well, it's something, that's for damn sure. Anyways, we're going to go 0, parentheses, space 25, 255. So basically, I'm telling that... at this point, I haven't established it yet, but I want to change the red value of something that I haven't told the computer yet to do. And I want to assign it a random color value for its red value between 0 and 255. So the game is going to basically random number generate a number between 0 and 250 there. I'm going to Control-C this because we're going to make a lot of these. We're going to Control-V, and then I'm going to change this value to green. And we're going to change this value to blue. All right, that should do. And we still haven't closed this damn loop, which is really disturbing. All right, so we're going to go... wait, did you name that thing base plate? I think I go banana. Yeah. All right, let's go banana. Banana.color equals... Because we basically made banana the base plate, so I should be able to do that. It is in scope. Okay, cool. And it already has the color, is that correct? From RBG, red, blue, and green. Yeah, I guess get to press tab here. Yeah, and then it wants me to do a wait, so rather than closing the loop, we can give it a wait command instead. That's interesting that it lets me type in just wait, but instead I'll go down one and go do a task. Task.wait. Parentheses, and we'll have it do it like, we'll do it every 3 seconds. Okay. Now, let's run this thing, and it should work just fine. We're plus play, and we're either going to crash the computer, because we fucked up. Oh my. Alright, so that didn't do anything. Okay, so I do need to type in base plate. Roger that. That's interesting. Why can't I go local banana equals base plate? That's kind of weird. So the banana serves no purpose? Huh. Or did I misspell banana? Banana color. Let's try base plate and see what happens. Base plate. Dot color. Yeah, you're not doing anything, so I hope you don't work. That is some weird ass shit. Huh. Alright, well. Try typing it up here. Local base plate. So you didn't like my banana, huh? Equals games.workspace.baseplate, task.wait, baseplate, green, while true do. Okay. Color baseplate, RG value. Everything looks fine. And you're still not working. How interesting. Huh. Local baseplate equals game.workspace.baseplate. Okay. Am I in the wrong file? No, we're here. While true do, local, random, green value, red value. Color dot from RBG. I'm gonna retype this. No, that should be fine. Color 3 dot from random RBG. Weather value, green level value, blue value. Task dot wait dash 3. Why the fuck aren't you working? You're not even throwing me a damn error. So why the hell, what seems to be the problem here? Base plate, task, wait 3, while true do. Is there something wrong with my while true do? Local X. Do I need to capitalize you as well? Is that what the fuck I need to do? That would be weird. This is just an X, so it should just work. Whoa. Okay, Control Z that. Alright, this better not work. You better not fucking work because I did that. Thank God. Yeah, no idea. How weird is that shit? Alright, let me rewrite this shit. Local base plate equals workspace dot base plate. How about game dot workspace dot base plate? And then we'll go down and we'll go while. Oh, it's because I tabbed it over. Right, okay, because it got tabbed over. Is that the fucking problem? Yeah, that was the problem. I had it tabbed over here. That makes a lot of sense. Let's go back. Yeah, no, I didn't have it tabbed. What the? I have no idea what the fuck the problem is then. That is some fucked up shit. All right, well, I'm going to rewrite you all the way from scratch. Just because at this point you're pissing me off. Local base plate equals game dot workspace dot base plate while true do. Okay, while true do, local red value. That should pop up something, but it's not. Equals math dot random to, no, we're going to go 0 parentheses 255. At least I think there's a space there. Local value red, math dot random. Everything does check out. Didn't even throw me an error last time. That is some weird ass shit. Control V. Set this to green. Ugh. Green. Fuck off. Thank you. Set this to blue. Yes, sir. And then we'll go base plate. Dot color. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh, capital C. Okay, getting somewhere. Possibly. And that should all check out. And it wants me to add a wait. Do I need the task.wait here? I mean, we can try it. See what happens. That should flicker quite quickly, though. Let's do it at 3. It's still not throwing an error message. Okay, so now this is working. Why? Huh. Okay, so now you like what's happening. Interesting. All right, let's go task dot wait parentheses 2. Yep. And then press play. So you're just a fucking asshole. That's what's going on here. Fascinating. So the real question is, what the hell is the difference between what I wrote before and what I wrote now? Ain't that a bitch? All right, well, let's try to change, just for sake of my sanity, I'm going to change this to banana. And I'm going to change this to banana, because it shouldn't matter. This is just a name. Banana. Do-do-do-do-do. All right, press play. Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. So, no idea what I did wrong. In fact, I'm going to leave that in there because I'm very curious what the hell I did wrong. Maybe it was a capitalization, but if I uncapitalize something, Roblox should tell me I'm a dumbass. Yeah, so this has a thing on it. So I have no idea. Did the writing of the script thing bug it out? Like when I went like script.parent, did that screw it up? Yeah, try script.parent banana. Okay, interesting. Did I get my lines wrong? No idea. We'll go game.workspace.baseplate and press play. No, we're good. Every 3 seconds, we're changing the baseplate's color to hideous nonsense. Huh, interesting. Well, no idea what the hell I did wrong. But as you can see, your boy has been learning scripting. No idea if we're doing a good job at it or not. Still trying to figure out the whole baseplate/parent thing. I have some coding friends in IRL. Let's get out of here. How do we get out of here? File, exit. I'm pressing escape. It's not doing anything. Go back to the game. Get me out of here. Oh boy. Oh boy. How do I leave game? Any ideas? How do I get out of here? I'm just going to close you off this way. Fuck off. Save changes? Fuck no. Yeah, so I have some IRL programmer friends. My best friend of like 20 years, John, has basically recently went to college and got like a bachelor's degree in programming. So every time I ask him questions about Lua U and their scripting language or parent/child feature, he's like, this is dumb, fucking why? And I got some friends in the guild I ask about scripting stuff, and even they are like parent-child fucking why. My wife, who knows programming, is like parent scripting, at least. It's like parent-child fucking why. A programmer friend of ours who's really good at it is like parent-child fucking why. Yeah, so parent-child fucking why. So hopefully I can figure it out. I'm aware that the parent-child thing is supposed to be like a tool in my personal toolbox. All these stuffs are tools in my personal toolbox, right? Like connecting this with an event, function calls are a tool. The task.wait is a tool. The math.random is a tool. Everything is a fucking tool. So I'm very curious to understand deeper what the hell the tool advantage of going... look for child, wait for child, script.parent, that sort of stuff. I think it's just shorthand. The videos are trying to explain to me that it allows the computer to look for an object, typically an object or a script or whatever the hell it's to look for something, and then if it can't find that something, rather than throwing an error or just like, stopping, it'll just be like, okay, well, I can't find it, that's fine, and it'll just kind of like continue on with its life, which is a really weird way to code if you stop and think about it. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. So anyways, got a new computer, been learning some scripting. Cooking my brain for like a couple hours every day on that, slowly getting it down. The thing that's, honestly, let's go to Paint. I, like, learning scripting, I was kind of dreading doing the 2 hours every day, and I had to like force myself to do it. And I kept dreading it because it literally kept cooking my brain. And the whole time I was sitting there learning this crap and thinking to I was waiting for my like 144 IQ to like kick in and like help me to learn this shit. Like, please come save me from this. And I'm not even sure if it ever did. But the one thing that really helped me more than anything, we'll do it here, was I took logic and critical thinking class in college. And if you think about it, right, if I write something like x plus y equals z, right, or I do something like, let's make it even more complicated here, we'll put some parentheses over that. Boo, 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 boo. If I go 2x plus y equals z, this thing here is is an expression, right? And it's dictating like orders of operations, and like everything here means something. The X's and the Y and the Z mean something. The parentheses mean something. They're also denoting actions that you're supposed to do. So for example, in coding or in Lua, I would write something like this. It might even be lowercase. I can't remember, but like semicolon dot connect and then brackets. Okay, whatever the hell I would, this whole thing is basically a function. It's telling it to do something. It's the equivalent of, in math, of writing like an equals sign. In coding, in at least the coding, the scripting that I'm learning, this thing basically means whatever the hell came before this thing, which is usually an event, or we'll just make it as an X. Whatever the hell came before this thing, I am now connecting it to whatever the hell is in these brackets right here. Let me pull up Discord and we can show that really fast. One of my programmer friends actually taught me how to type in Discord pretty well. Let's go pick on Saber then. Yeah, we'll open up his Discord. So the number button right by the number 1 on your keyboard, if you press it 3 times, it'll gray out, do this weird little thing. And then if I write Lua, it'll immediately go into the Lua language. So I should be able to write things like, local, we'll do local X equals banana. Sure, why not? And then, does it have the semicolon function? Local X semicolon connect. Whatever. I guess it doesn't have the actual function. But I could do something like what did we do before? We did local base plate equals game. That's what we did before. Work, capital camel code, workspace dot base plate, and then we went down and we started a while loop, and we went while true do, and then we came down here, we tabbed over, and we started going with all of our stupid little values, such as it could be like blah 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 blah. But anyways, to close this stuff, I have to press this button again 3 times and press enter, and it will shoot out a brick of code. So that was kind of cool. I've basically been pestering my fellow, like if I go over here to the Paladin section, I've basically been pestering the people in my guild to help me understand what the fuck parent and shit mean. Oh yeah, okay, here's the connect function, thank God. Okay, here's a good example. So like, kill Brit dot blah 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 blah, and then I have it connected, and then we have the parentheses here, so whatever's in the parentheses. And you'll notice the parentheses don't close until it hits like the end here. So basically what it's saying is that I want to connect this string of nonsense to whatever the hell is in here, like this whole fucking thing. So once this thing gets touched, basically I want it to trigger this, assuming it can find it to be a humanoid. So if the player touches this brick thing, it'll kill them, or it'll do something to them that I haven't written yet. But if it doesn't touch that, if it's a non-humanoid that touches them, then blah 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 blah. So yeah, the logic and critical thinking. But right, so I took logic and critical thinking class, and in logic and critical thinking class, you would write something like this. Oh right, you would write if and okay, you'd write something like this, which is, we have an if statement up here. If A, this means leads to, okay, leads to in logic. So you'd write something like, if A leads to B and B leads to C, then A leads to C. And you would write that fundamentally as A leads to B leads to C would be the full statement, if that makes any sense. And so I had to learn that in logic and critical thinking class. And a combination of having to learn abstract ways of speaking and expressing things in logic critical thinking class and taking math before, that really helped me with all this coding language shit, if that makes any sense. Because now in the coding stuff, I can be like, okay, I can have literally like, you know, I could literally write something like while true do over here, and in theory I could semicolon connect. Is it capital? Let me check. It is. I wrote it as capital. Okay, connect parentheses, and I could literally be like your mama's ass. Or something like that, right? But whatever the hell I connected it into here would it would connect it to that. Yeah. So we connected to here, function. Oh, so I connected it to a function. Other part, local humanoid, other part, parent, blah, 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 find first child, humanoid, end. So where did the bracket close? I can see the closed bracket right here. The question becomes, which closed bracket is that associated with? Is it this closed bracket? Because there's another bracket right here, right? Fuck off. These two things are closed. This is a completely... Oh, what? No? Yes? Where does this bracket end? Huh. I don't know, but the fact that this bracket closes at the after the end is actually very important here. It's basically saying I want you to connect to this, and oh, by the way, this is going to be a function, and when this happens, I want you to fire this thing over here. Well, first I want you to find some shit, and if some shit exists, then I want you to fire it. But basically, it's supposed to be like, I want you to fire everything here, I think. But I could be wrong about that. So anyways, as you can see, I'm learning to script. How exciting. So that's one thing I've been up to. And while not learning to script, I've been playing quite a bit of Diablo 2. Most notably with Dwarf Lord. I'll make an entire video on my experience with that here in a second. The TLDR on this is that Dwarf Lord might be one of those egotistical dumbass speedrunners who really doesn't like to be wrong about anything. Might actually be the TLDR on that one. Like, unironically. I'll TLDR it in this video here in a second. We want Classic WoW, we want D2R. Right. Yeah. Do. Come on, you can do it. You can live. You can survive. So, never played D2R before. Bought the game so we could play it with Dwarf Lord and check it out, see what the changes are. We got this This is the Necromancer that I played with Dwarfy Poo. Normal ladder character. I also got this Barbarian. This is a classic normal Barbarian of all things. Because I wanted to check out Cookie Cutter Barb. Dude, the fact that you're struggling to make a fucking game, I want to kill myself. Are you okay? BattleNet, are you fine? I'm probably the only fucking guy making a classic normal game right now, and the servers literally have to wake up for me and for only me. Oh no! I'm the only guy making a game. That's so sad. It should bug out here in a second. We've all seen this before. Yeah, this is the fail to join game. Yeah, no shit. You don't say. Alright, do it again. Fuck you. Maybe I gotta go do it on normal. Yeah, I probably have to go do it on normal. Well, I don't think I've been through Nightmare on this character. But I could be wrong about that. Okay, let's do a normal game. Alright, cool. Yeah. Sweet. Let me check my inventory. Do I still have my pike? I do not have my pike. But I wanted to Make a whirlwind barb, like back in the day. Dark wood, stony field. How's the map? So we have no idea. I wanted to make a whirlwind barb. Whoa, who the fuck is that? Okay, F1, F2, F3, and then we're going to go this, and then we're going to go do this, because you're an asshole. But back in the day, there used to be this thing called cookie cutter barb. And the mechanics of Barbarian in the original Diablo 2's Whirlwind was noticeably different from what it is in the actual game. And I went and I got a chance to test it on the cow level, and sure enough, Cookie Cutter Barb is still alive and well. And it was awesome. Why the fuck can't you go into Tristram? Holy shit, bro. And then that switched over because of why. Who gives a shit? Speaking of which, let's get some mana back. You guys don't have enough HP to give me mana. That sucks. Anyways, I won't bother to show it, but just know that Cookie Cutter Barb is 100% alive and well. The way Whirlwind works in the original Diablo 2 is that you'd get less attacks per second, even at the fastest attack speed. So, like in current Lord of Destruction, the Cookie Cutter Barb, offline, yeah. The current Whirlwind in Diablo 2R, at maximum attack speed, it'll do something like 6 attacks per second to mobs randomly in the area of your Whirlwind. So if you're dual wielding with maximum attack speed, it'll spit out like 12 attacks per second, 6 from each of your weapons. But it'll attack like mobs randomly with inside the Whirlwind, right? So it'll kind of spread the damage all over the place. It's basically Zeal by another name, all right? But in the original Diablo, you had what was known as a Cookie Cutter Barb. Whirlwind would do less attacks per second. I want to say it would max out like 5 attacks per second, maybe only 8 attacks per second if you were dual wielding. But it would do 8 attacks per second to every fucking mob inside of your Whirlwind area. So you could wear like a pole arm, only get like 5 attacks a second, whirlwind through things, and within a massive weapon range of like 4 around your Barbarian, you'd be hitting every single mob within your Whirlwind, 4 attacks every single second. And they had to nerf that for Lord of Destruction, but it was one of the worst nerfs in my opinion, because Lord of Destruction has historically it has had a weakness of in action RPGs, historically speaking, area of effect abilities are king, basically. Generally speaking, if your Diablo 2 character cannot blow up an entire screen of minions within a matter of seconds, it's considered to be an ineffective build. And the melee classes in Diablo 2 just cannot compete with that, with the spellcasters. The spellcasters are more than capable of blowing up entire screens of minions within a matter of seconds, whereas the melee classes basically can barely handle a small pack of monsters in their general vicinity. All right, so played this character with Dwarf Lord a bit, got really bored. There are basically 3 modes in Diablo 2. You can play on the ladder, you can play single player offline, or you can go play hardcore. So I got really fucking bored, and I decided to go play hardcore Diablo 2 Resurrected. Again, I'm trying to learn to script. While I'm not scripting, I'm basically playing Diablo 2 because, in the grand scheme of things, the game I'm trying to make is Diablo 2, except you have mechs and tanks rather than demons and monsters. Well, there's demons in my game as well, but we'll get there a little bit later. What the hell was I talking about here? Yeah, so I went and I played hardcore. I almost always play hardcore in Diablo 2. I hate playing the fucking ladder. I do believe this is on the ladder. Let me check. Okay, no, it's not. I fucking hate playing Diablo 2 on the ladder, and the reason why I hate playing Diablo 2 on the ladder is because you can't adjust the player settings. So I don't do it. There's basically three modes of playing in Diablo 2. You can play on the ladder, but you can't really adjust the player settings. So in Hell, the monsters have like 10,000 HP. Whereas if you go single player and you can adjust the player settings to 8, like I just did. The monsters will have closer to 60,000 hit points rather than 10,000 hit points, making the game much more interesting. Also on the ladder, you can trade with gear, making it so that characters that are incredibly gear reliant can become much more powerful much more quickly. Whereas when you're playing single player, you're not going to have access. You got to make do like kind of a lot with a little type deal. So builds that are good on the ladder are not good on a single player. Player's 8, and hardcore is its own little world. As you can see here, I have two of the most well-known, best hardcore ladder characters. We have a Shout Barbarian, probably the best hardcore ladder character there is, like period, end of story. Especially to start the game with. I started the game with the Necromancer just so I could get some really good starter gear to help the Shout Barb get through normal, because that's where he kind of sucks. But once the Shout Barb is through normal, they're just disturbing. They basically get to stun everything. They get to fear everything. That they if they're getting overwhelmed with numbers, they can fear the entire screen to run away for like 30 seconds. And then their shout like stuns enemies for like 6 seconds around them and does damage. On top of the fact that the Shout Barb has like close to 4,000 HP. So you get him a couple of spirit swords like he has here, and he just doesn't give a shit. Necromancer is probably the second best a hardcore character in the entire game. Like, this is just well-known common stuff. But specifically, and it doesn't really matter what version of Necro you do, you can do a Bone Necromancer, you can do a Summon Necromancer, you can do a Poison Nova Necromancer, but it's always going to end with Dim Vision. So you're going to be a Summoning Dim Vision Necro. You're going to be a Poison Nova Dim Vision Necro. You're going to be a Bone Spear Dim Vision Necro. If you're doing Diablo 2 Hardcore and you're playing a Necromancer and you don't have Dim Vision, there's a real good question like, what the fuck are you doing? Like literally, what the fuck are you doing? Let's see if I can showcase this here really fast. Let's go to normal, just so there's absolutely no chance of me dying whatsoever. My mercenary exists, which is a fucking problem. We'll go, let's go normal, frigid plateau. Yep, that'll do. And we're going to showcase Dim Vision. Dim Vision basically causes all the monsters on the screen for like a screen and a half to just stand there and basically wait to die. That's basically the TLDR of what Dim Vision does. Yeah, it's not going to affect those guys. He's getting some of them out of Dim Vision. But as you can see, it basically just stops all the minions from doing anything. They'll attack me if I'm physically next to them, but other than that, they just stand there and basically just look stupid and wait to die. So you can probably imagine how powerful this thing is on hardcore, right? Just absolutely ridiculous. That is interesting that he can get them out of Dim Vision. I did not know he could do that. Come on, do it. How long does this last in normal? 59 seconds. Jesus Christ. Okay, come on. Yeah, he gets them out. Look at that. No idea. Who would have thunk? I would rather not lose my hardcore character. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's Dim Vision. Fucking amazing. Absolutely disgusting. Well known to be one of the most broken curses in the entire effing game. Yeah, this guy's going to hit me. I walk over here. He just stands still. This guy will come over here and try to attack me once. But if I move away, they just stand there. And they just wait to die. And it doesn't matter. You can attack them. So I can, like, do, like, some attacks on them. And he's just going to stand there and wait till I die. Yeah, if I give him melee range, they attack. But other than that, they don't do anything. Yeah. So, super well-known curse in the hardcore community. Absolutely fucking disgusting. We can go showcase why the Barbarian is fucking stupid in the exact same way. The Shout Barb. Alright, so Shout Barb has two options. Warcry. Let's read Warcry right now. Level 26. It's only got a 4.6 yard radius. Pretty small in the grand scheme of things. Let's see here, right? Not a very big radius of Warcry. But it does stun the enemies for 6 seconds. It does 1,000 fucking damage. Okay, so the fact that it stuns the enemies, it stuns almost every enemy in the game except for bosses. So within a small area, as long as I'm casting this thing, I basically can't fucking die, right? Because it's going to stun the enemies for like 1,000,000 years. Drink some mana potions, wear some better gear. It's not even going to be that problem. Actually, I don't even have my shouts up yet. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. So yeah, I just keep pushing this button. Mana is perfectly stable with the Insight Mercenary. Yeah, Hardcore Barb right there. But the more important spell for this guy's survivability is actually, I think it's Howl. Yeah, so it says radius 20 yards, monsters flee for like a bazillion years for like 29 seconds. So you can run up to enemies and it's like, oh crap, I'm being overwhelmed, and just push the button and they all run away from you. So in a weird sense, it does the exact same thing as Dim Vision. And that's why Shout Barb is probably the best. And Dim Vision Necro is probably the second best character in the entire game. Like, one shout, they all run away. One shout, they all run away. Yeah. Like, and they're going to run away for a long ass time. And they just don't even attack you. Yeah. So, that's kind of stupid. Let me see if I can do a shout. This is players 8. This might not kill one of them. Okay, never mind. Let's go hit the mini-boss, see if it stuns him. Kinda. Stuns him enough. Definitely damages him. How exciting. Ah, that stunned him. But they'll be stunned there for like 6 seconds. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So, I got bored of Diablo 2 on the ladder, because you can't players 8 it, and without players 8, there's just no challenge there whatsoever. And it's very easy to trade for gear, so again, no challenge there whatsoever. There's no fucking challenge on playing Diablo 2 on the ladder, is the TLDR. It's not even the Ubers are challenging, because you can't put it on players 8. So your options are to either play single player normal or to go and play hardcore. I'm a big hardcore fan, so usually I go and I play hardcore. Once you get good at hardcore, it's really hard to play normal softcore. But let's get out of here really quick. Let's go over here. I've also been really getting into Project Diablo 2 lately. People have been asking me for years to play Project Diablo 2, and one of my guildies finally got me to play Project Diablo 2 when the ladder reset. So, I've been doing a lot of work with Project Diablo 2. This is my online characters. But again, online you can't do /players8. I'll showcase that really fast. So if I create like a random game here in hell, I'm not wearing full trangs in this character, which is kind of interesting. It might not even make the game. How sad. Well, let's go. That seems to be the problem. Alright. Let's go EAR, and we'll go 1, 2... What the fuck do you want from me? How about you go fuck yourself? Lost connection to BattleNet. How exciting. Jesus. Alright, we'll try 1, 2, 3. Now it should work. Alright, cool. So we are a Summon Necro in Project Diablo 2. That is a full Trang set. There's a hidden bonus to full Trang set in Diablo 2, or in Project Diablo 2, and that is that you get +1. It doesn't even say it here. You get +1 curse on the enemy. So I can actually put 4 curses on the enemy right now. And, of course, Project Diablo 2, we can actually use the WASD keys, which is like, thank Christ. I'm not even, you notice my mouse is over here. I'm not even clicking it. We're just WASDing around. So that's fucking awesome. We have a Oath Rune Word. Because, of course, we do. So we got the Oath Rune Word. The reason why you're using this is because at the bottom here it says level 16, Heart of the Wolverine. 20 out of 20 charges. This thing replenishes a charge every 3 seconds. So if I use up a bunch of these charges, it'll, still recharge pretty damn fast. More importantly, this is adding plus an aura, damaging aura, 175% damage and 175 attack rating to my army here, which is fucking awesome. But watch, I'll try to do players 8 / players 8. Doesn't do anything, right? So let's try it again, / players 8. Doesn't do anything. So I'm pretty much stuck at playing players 1 difficulty on Project Diablo, on the online, on the ladder. I fucking hate this. It's terrible. It's dog shit. I hate it. But Project Diablo 2 itself, I don't mind that at all. So, out of here, go to single player. I leveled a Necro. Yeah, he looks like the same guy. That's fucking funny. That is fucking funny. But he's definitely higher level. Because he's almost full trangs too. That's funny. Yes, bitch. So we can go players 8 here. That didn't do anything. / players 8. Players set to 8. Now the enemies will be way, way fucking harder to kill. So I'm going to set players 1 so you guys can see the difference here. Is that how we do it? Yeah, players set to 1. And I'm going to kill everything here except my mercenary. And we're just going to see how stupid this is really quick. So, no. Come on up here. Kill these guys. Yeah. Yeah, that's players 1 difficulty. How exciting. How liberating. How fun. Save and exit. Come on. Do it again. / players 8. Alright. Alright, we'll do it again. This time with players 8. Frigid Highlands. I go beat them up this time. Go on. Get up there. A little bit of a difference. Yeah, just a little bit of a difference between players 8 and players 1. They literally have 550% increased health, and I think somewhere in the vicinity of like 80% increased damage or some shit on players 8. So that's the whole reason why you'd play single player over playing on or making a ladder character, is because you can type in a player's 8 and so forth and so on. So that the challenge of the game increases exponentially. I want to go get my mercenary killed. No, I don't. I can keep him around. Okay. Oh, that's bad. We don't want to do that. Click here, click there. So put this there. Go back to town. Okay, cool. Summon the blood golems. Now we got to get our boy back together here. +2 to curses. Yeah, I'm swapping these around because it's how I can summon the most powerful summons. But I do lose the Heart of the Wolverine when I do that, so I have to resummon it. Okay, we'll go Worldstone Keep here really fast. This is players 8, Worldstone Keep, right? So there's some really good characters. Let me pause the video really fast. Alright, cool. Here we go. So there's this guy on Project Diablo 2 who is... Well, I was told to go check this guy out, right, for different builds for Project Diablo 2. And dude's name's Dark Humility. Apparently he does guides. He's kind of like the llama MC of Project Diablo 2. Here you can see he's got this massive 5-hour video going over, like, all the known good builds and why they're good. And again, I don't know if this is for normal mode. I don't know if this is normal mode players 8. If this is for hard, definitely not for hardcore. Hardcore is a different animal. It's a world unto itself. Or if this is on the ladder. I'm pretty sure this is just like players 1, like on the ladder type deal. And the standard of measurement for whether it's like, B+, S-, yada, 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 is how well can it teleport around a map and blow up an entire screen of monsters and move on with its life. So you can see Corpse Explosion has an S- here for Necromancer. Poison Strike has an S- here for Necromancer. Poison Nova is on a B+, yada, yada, yada. But we get down to the summonings here, and you'll see we have clay golems, we have fire golems, we have elemental summoner with mages and Ellie revives. We have a peer summoner peer revive, whatever. Eternity moon lords. Eternity, as in lower enemy resistances. Eternity, possibly, because moon lords are like death lords. They're the physical damage dealing guys. Huh, interesting. Then we have Green Goblin. That's a Goblin Machine Mercenary with physical skellies. I've watched videos in that. It's usually considered to be, if you're doing Summoning Necro, to be one of the better ones. And then you have Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Archers, right? So those are the builds that he kind of mentioned and kind of covered. But as a general rule, summoning Necromancer in both normal Diablo 2 and in Project Diablo 2 is incredibly unexplored. So, of course, you know, me being a Summon Necro fanboy, I'm going to go explore it. And what I've discovered is that they've made a number of stealth changes to Blood Golem that makes me think that I need to make an entire video on why Blood Golems are actually broken as fuck. They're also probably broken as fuck on Players 8. Because again, there's 3 different modes, right? There's the normal mode, there's single player Players 8, and then there's hardcore. What is a good hardcore build is not going to be a good build in the other 2. What is a good single Players 8 build is not going to be like a good Players 1 build, right? And I'm pretty sure all these figures here are for Players 1 on the ladder. What is it I wanted to say here really fast? Blood Golem. Blood Golem? Blood Golem. Right. So, let's go look at the other builds here really quick, because I actually have some items that are associated with them. I actually found a demon machine, which is kind of cool. It's not an ethereal demon machine, but the demon machine I did find had really good stats on it. So, first off, let me show you that I'm not a very... I haven't played this character for very long, obviously. My runes are pretty bad. Like, I only got 3 runes, 1 Paul rune. I did get a Maul rune, which is right here. But this, if you open up the stash and show any Project Diablo 2 player this right here, they're going to be like, yeah, you've been playing for about a week. But we do have a demon machine here. So, we have a demon machine. If I press Control... it will tell me what the range of stats on this thing are. You can see that the max enhanced defense or damage on this thing is 315. This thing is 300%. That's pretty high. It's a pretty high roll on how much enhanced damage the thing has. It can get up to 666, the mark of the beast. Attack rating it is 567, so that's a pretty decent high roll. It can get up to plus 660 defense. It has 527, a pretty good high roll. Pretty good high. It's pretty much high rolled on just about everything, especially on everything that I would remotely find important. The important thing here is that she does fire explosive bolts or arrows. The 6% chance to reincarnate as Demon Imp is also kind of cool because it's like extra minions around the map to help kill the enemy. But it's probably just the fact that it does a shit ton of damage and it fires explosive bolts that makes this thing absolutely disgusting. More importantly, it's probably that it has a 15% chance to cast a level 16 multi-shot on striking. So if you're doing like the Zeal equivalent or whatever the hell... actually, no, you put this on a mercenary. Anyways, you're supposed to put this on an Act 1 mercenary and then put certain gear on it that's quite green. And the mercenary is also known as a Green Goblin mercenary. It's pretty easy to find videos on the Green Goblin Demon Machine Mercenary plus Skeleton video, or maybe the Necromancer's green, so it's called Green Goblin. But a lot of the gear they have is green, so it's usually referred to as Green Goblin. I gotta go check the door really fast here, I think, just in case my wife got the time wrong. I'm expecting a delivery. She said it's 1 p.m., but it might actually be 11. So let me go check the door really quick. All right. So anyways, the reason why I'm talking so much about this Project Diablo 2 stuff is because for years people have been saying that I should make or check out Project Diablo 2 and see about making guides on it. Ooh, that's actually some really good gloves. What the fuck? Those are really good gloves. Hell yeah. But 25 is the max, right? Yeah, 25 is the max. Huh, interesting. Anyways, so where's that other wand? Gravespined. Did I cube the wand? Okay, so here's this. Then the other one is this. Okay, we'll get all these in the same place. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so when I look up online builds for the Necromancer, and you can see this very quickly in the Dark Humility thing here, is that we have Elemental Summoner, we have Green Goblin, and then we have Physical Skeletons. But it looks like the Summoner, Pure Revive, Eternity, and Moon Lords is the C+, whereas according to him, this has the D+. Fire Golems are supposed to be bad. You'll notice we have no Blood Golems here. That's the point I'm eventually going to get around to, is that we have no Blood Golems here. So, of course, your boy wants to go check out if Blood Golems actually suck or why they've been looked over. Let's go over here. And it might be that the Blood Golems got looked over because they're not playing on Players 8. On Players 8, the Blood Golems are fucking amazing. But on normal player builds, they're probably overkill. Which is it's weird to talk about. So anyways, one of these builds uses a demon machine and then whatever the hell minions you want. Another build uses this item right here, and I happen to get a perfect one of these, which is fucking amazing. 2 to 3 Necromancer skills. It has 3 Necromancer skills. And then if I scroll down here, it gets between 3 to 5 to bonus to raise skeleton mages. I got a 5. So this is a perfect Burning Dead. The only thing that would make this better is that if I got +1 skills and Necromancer skills upon corrupting this thing. Haven't got it around there yet. But you can see what makes this thing really good is what it says right at the top there. You may summon 6 additional skeleton mages. So normally in Project Diablo 2, you're only allowed to summon 6 of any kind of summon, basically. So you could have 6 skeleton warriors, 6 skeleton archers, 6 skeleton mages. My bad. 8 skeleton warriors, 8 skeleton mages, 8 skeleton archers, and only 8 revives. And you can only get 8 of those summons if you invest 20 hard skill points into the skill tree. So if I want 8 skeleton warriors, I have to put 20 fucking skill points into the skill tree in order to get the maximum 8 skeleton warriors. So any item that's going to tell you that it can summon additional summons is fucking disturbingly good. And this thing is like, hey, you can summon 6 additional skeleton mages on top of all these bonus skills. What the fuck? So the skeleton mage build actually uses this weapon. So if we're looking at it, right, the Green Goblin Demon Machine uses the Demon Machine Mercenary. I'm showing you what that weapon looks like, and a pretty good one at that. The only thing that would make it better is if it was ethereal and it high rolled, which is not going to happen. We have the Elemental Summoner. The Elemental Summoner build actually uses that two-handed scythe that I was just showing you, and it wants a perfect one of those, included it corrupted with +1 skills. I got the perfect one, so that's kind of cool. And then the Summoner build uses let's go find it over here, uses this thing. It uses an Arm of King Leoric, but a perfect one, or at the bare minimum, a corrupted one with +1 skills. So this thing is not a good rolled Arm of King Leoric at all. In fact, this is a low roll one. 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, 3 out of 4, and I got 2, 2, 3, and a 4. So it low rolled on almost everything that it could low roll on. But the whole reason why you take this thing is what it says at the top there. You may summon 2 additional skeleton warriors. So you corrupt this thing, hopefully get +1 to all skills to it, and this is the thing that you use for the other builds. You'll notice that I'm using none of that shit. And these stupid blood golems are absolutely disgusting. All right, so let me show you this really quick. So what ended up happening to me is I was playing around with these blood golems. I was absolutely delighted with how terrifyingly good they are. And then I got the perfect skeleton summoner a build two-hander to drop, and I decided to skill swap over to like a summoned skeleton army and see how good it was, and it was fucking dog shit on players 8 compared to these golems right here. I can explain what makes these golems here so fucking amazing before I showcase them really quickly. Let me swap my gear around here, and we can look at what exactly I'm summoning here. Let's actually look at the skill tree. Okay, take a drink of water. Huh, I wonder how they got 261 defense. Is that just from levels? Probably. Huh, interesting. All right, so at current skill level, they have almost, for the record, I have 20 skills in both Skeleton or Golem Mastery, and I have 20 skills in Blood Golem. The 20 hard skills in Golem Mastery is what's allowing me to have 5 of them at a time, and then I liked Blood Golem so much that I invested another 20 skill points into it. Every skill point I put into it basically just makes their attack rating go up. Actually, I don't think it makes, no, it doesn't make its attack rating go up. But it makes its health go up, it makes its damage go up, but more importantly, it makes the open wounds go up. So it says down here that they're at current skill level, they're doing 1,250 additional damage per second on open wounds. Open wounds in Hell already does like 300 damage per second. And the way open wounds works in this game is, or on Project Diablo 2, is that it can stack up to 3 times, right? So if we pull out a calculator here really quick, I'll pull up a calculator. Another drink of water. That's that. Usually, if I'm drinking this much water, it means I've been talking for about an hour. Let me check here really fast. Yeah, we're over the hour mark. Oh boy, how exciting. So I tried looking it up online, like how does open wounds work for the blood golems in Project Diablo 2. Online tries to tell me that these blood golems apply their open wounds when they get hit, but in reality, they're applying their open wounds every melee attack, and they do a small area of effect melee attack of about 3.33 yards, which is a bit smaller of an AoE attack area than the player. The skeletons do an even lower AoE attack. There's basically 3 sizes. Like if I pull up my mercenary here, you'll notice that the first thing it says in his weapon is melee attacks deal splash damage. All melee attacks in Project Diablo 2 deal splash damage. That's how they're trying to balance melee in Project Diablo 2 with all the spellcasters that do terrifying are very, very amazing at doing AoE damage. The radius on a player's melee attack damage is, I want to say, somewhere in the vicinity of about 4 yards. It might be 3.66 yards or something like that. But anyways, there are 3 levels of AoE splash damage. The player is using the highest level. Golems use the second highest level, and then skeleton warriors use the lowest level. So this thing is probably 3 yards or less, 2.8 yards. This thing is like 3.3 yards or something, and so forth and so on. So, but more importantly, when they are, swap back to the proper gear, curses, Roger, and then we do our summon thing. All right, cool, and we're off. All right, let's see here. We'll get the 3 curses down. I do have Curse Mastery 2020. Okay, that's interesting. We'll pick that up. Pick the bolts up. Keep it moving. This is on Players 8. You type Players 8. Yeah, we're on Players 8. Ow, thank you. Thank you very much. Ouch. Okay. This is not really a hard fight. That kind of sucks. Alright. Might have to open a map and really make a dedicated video showcasing this stuff. Yeah, we're going to get... I'm just going to get into the next level, if possible. Because I really don't want to deal with these stupid-ass... whatchamacallit, souls for very long. So I'm putting 3 curses on them. I'm putting Amplify Damage, Dim Vision, and Life Tap. Life Tap is just there to help keep the army alive. High, low, shield rune. Fucking stop shooting me, please. Yada, yada, yada. Winged helm, 3 sockets. Please stop shooting. Are you immune? Is that what the fuck is going on here? You fucking bastards. Jesus, I hate souls. Go away. Fuck off. I'm trying to look at my loot. Damn you. I'm just going to get through this because this is kind of annoying. It's not even remotely hard. Hi, how's it going? How's your mama? Schwink. Fuck off. Okay. Schwink. Alright, doing pretty good. Player's 8, by the way. Oh, no. What is that? High Superior Horned Helm. 2 to battle orders. Interesting. Because I think that's what that said. Hard to say. Hopefully there's no souls. Hopefully there's no dolls. We'll just zip on up here and try to do a bail run. As a showcase. On Player's 8. Alright. He should be dead any second now. Do a little blood warp action. Get those curses going. And I'll just crush Bale while talking. Alright, so if I pull up this calculator here, eventually, when I get the blood golems actually to be good, they'll do something stupid like 2,000 open wound damage. Right now, they're only doing 15,000 open wound damage. Basically, they do 300 base from their open wounds. 300 base from their open wounds, and the extra plus 1,200 from their current skill level, right? The other thing that's affecting open wound damage is the amplify damage that I have right now is minus 43% physical damage reduction. And then the decrepify is, well, decrepify it never goes up, but it is currently minus 13 physical damage resistance. Most of that is coming from Curse Mastery in the skill tree. But that does scale with the open wound damage. So at this point, the open wound damage, for all intents and purposes, is basically doubling when I have both amplify damage and we need to revive some of these just in case. Get Eisenhardt's helm, that sucks. We need some HP would be nice. I really would like a fucking mana pot. Give me a mana pot? Thank you. Come on, spit them out so we can kill you. Alright, cool. Spit out that mana pot. Get that on them. Get that on them. And we're going to want to revive everything here. Yes, sir. Keep beating them up so I can revive them. Guess I got to put the curse down again. Jesus. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Turned him into ice cubes. That's not good. So warp on him so he dies a lot faster. I'll use one of these really quick. Alright, cool. Alright. Where the hell's the, yeah, we got the aura thing. Ooh, Moon Lords. That's some good revives. Yeah, bring them down here. Sweet. Revive that guy. Hell yeah. Another Death Lord? Fuck yeah. Okay. Oh, they're casting amplify damage on me. That's not... we got to get rid of these guys before we can take those guys on. Because it's not I have to. I could fight them as is. But I'm trying to showcase just how disturbingly powerful this army actually is. So give me a hot sec here. Schwink and schwink. Alright, cool. Alright, so these are supposed to be some of the hardest monsters in the game on Players 8. But as you're about to see, the Blood Golems do not really give a shit. Go over here so we can get some better splash damage on them. Running out of mana. Okay, cool. So, what's going to happen... First we'll just kill them really fast, and then I'll explain what the fuck just happened. How about we do that? Alright, so they're all dead. On Players 8. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck just happened? Alright, well, let's pull up a calculator and we'll see if we can understand. Alright? Oh, hey, there's a couple left up here. I didn't know that. Come here. Come on. Put this on. Put that on. Put this thing on. Blood warp right on top of them, and they're just dead. Okay, cool. How do we explain what the fuck is happening here? Well, we do some math. Each of my blood golems is basically putting an open wounds dot on the enemy for 1,500 damage a second. There's 5 of these fuckers, so that's that. And then they can stack it up to 3 times, which means we're at this already. And then the amplify damage and the decrepify are basically doubling this. So we basically just put a 45,000 damage a second dot in a small area of effect radius upon the enemy, which on top of the fact that each of these blood golems are doing like maybe like 2,500 physical damage. It's probably more than that because of the amplified damage. They're doing close to like 5,000 AoE melee damage a hit. They're attacking about once a second. So if I pull up another calculator here, blood golems, assuming 100% hit rate, which they probably have considering the Blessed Aim aura and the Heart of the Wolverine aura, and the amplified damage and everything, they're probably doing 5,000 damage times 5 every second. So this is the blood golem's melee damage on those mobs, but this is the blood golem's open wounds damage on the mobs. Open wounds damage also has the added benefit that it stops monster healing. So in reality, it's doing even more than this. Because normally the monsters would probably be healing for on players 8, it's going to be a shit ton of health. I don't even want to know how much plus healing they're doing. So these open wound dots are probably doing closer to like 50, 60,000 damage a second to the monsters. Especially when you start factoring in things like, whatchamacallit. Especially when you start factoring in things like monster heal. So again, ow, fuck. Thank you. I really don't want to die here. That would be very nice. Thank you. That was really painful. Haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, so this is a player's 8 Bale. And you're going to see him maybe get his ass kicked. It depends on, like, is he feeling frisky? Does he want to warp around? Does he want to do anything crazy? Does he want to summon his buddy? Or does he want to keep casting spells at me like an asshole? But again, we're putting 3 curses on him. I have to keep casting amp damage quite regularly. It only has it's got an 8-second duration now. But for the longest time, it had like a 5-second duration. It really pissed me off. So he's warping around. I want to keep these open wound dots on him as much as possible. Player's 8. I don't even want to know how much HP Bale has on player's 8. It's a lot. That's all I know and all I care. Hello, can we get some mana? Thank you. Amp damage. You can't use Decrepify on bosses in Project Diablo 2. You can in normal Diablo 2, but not in Project Diablo 2. If I try using it, it doesn't do anything. The advantage, though, is that Decrepify does have a 12-yard range, unlike normal Diablo 2, where it only has like a 4-yard range. But yeah, you can see we're just melting his fucking face on player's 8. And you can see all the open wound damage is it just ramps so fucking hard. And GG's. So yeah, I've been trying to do some of the hardest content in the game on player's 8 with this, and I have not been disappointed in the slightest. Alright, I was going to pick that up and sell it, but whatever, we'll check that armor later. What else is there to say? So it might be that a guy like Dark Community doesn't have Blood Golem on this list. He does admit that for Season 8, he didn't test it, right? He didn't actually retest summoning or summon Necro because they didn't make any changes on it, basically. But they might have changed Blood Golems, or they might have changed open wounds, because I literally could not find any info. When I looked up how the hell their open wound damage worked, the internet tried to tell me that it was on them taking a hit they caused open wounds. But that's not how it works at all after testing it. It's definitely every auto attack they do is causing open wounds damage. It might also be the case that on normal mode ladder, where the mobs have like non-existent HP. Let's go players 1. Let's go players 1 really quick. Players 1. This is a new game. And yeah, I don't even want to know. Do I even want to know? Do I even want to fucking know? Like, for reals? For reals? There's souls here. Just gonna run past them to the best of my ability. Luckily, we are fast as fuck, boy. I got whoa. I have no rejuve pots. That is disturbing. Just zigging. Yep, just zig it. Zig and zag. I'll have to go get some pots from my stash. All right, let's see here. So they walk up, and everything just explodes. And that's the problem on players 1, right? Is they don't even get to use their open wounds damage on players 1 because the shit dies so quickly. Even on like the end game maps, shit dies so quickly. Enhanced damage, that's pretty dog shit. Let's get the boots, and we'll keep it moving. But yeah, so stuff is dying so quickly that it's dying to the melee attacks practically. So there's not even any point in me throwing curses down. Stuff is dying so quickly. There's not even any point. The open wound damage isn't doing fuck all because stuff is dying so quickly. So you can kind of see why it's just not a thing on normal mode ladder. Because they don't need it. Right? Like, I'm not even throwing curses down. We're about to die. Jesus. Okay, I leveled recently, so it doesn't matter if I die or not. Do. Like, I'm not even bothering to curse because I just don't need the damage. Which is really sad. Huh. Alright, well, let's do it. Come on, show me normal 1. Alright. Like, what the fuck's the point? So, the open wound... The monsters don't have enough life, and they don't last long enough for the open wounds to even really stack and to subsequently matter. And that might be why they're showing it to be completely useless, basically. So it's like... And it makes sense, right? If I do the skeleton builds, stuff dies about this quickly. If I don't do the skeleton builds, stuff dies. Look how fucking fast that is, man. That's ridiculous. / players 8. Let's go back to 8. Ugh. But on players 8, as we're about to see here, come on, do it. On players 8, the minions are going to last a hell of a lot longer. And because they're lasting a lot longer, the open wounds damage is what's really killing them. So if I try to use like the skeleton army, on players 1, the skeleton army will go around just obliterating shit. But if I crank it up to players 8 difficulty, the next thing I know, the skeleton army starts getting its shit pushed in. Because the enemies have way more HP than they're supposed to have. Their monster healing suddenly isn't fucking around anymore. Or they're stunning them all. That sucks. Yeah. Can't stack open wounds if we're getting stunned. Do. I'm just porting to try to get them to not be stunned anymore. Huh. Kind of annoying. Oh, well, whatever. Die anyways. Oh, he's almost dead from the open wound damage. That's so dumb. Oh my god. Yeah. So, let's go do Bale. So we can see the difference. Players 1. Let me go get some revives worth a damn. Hopefully there's some Moonlords or some shit over here that we can use. There are more fucking souls. Oh boy, how exciting! We can use these guys. Yeah, we could use these guys. Yeah, sure, why not? Ouch. Oh, a conviction aura. I haven't killed it yet, wherever the hell it is. Do. We sure that didn't I put it on players 1? Am I crazy? Let me check. Yep, we're players 1. So if I didn't have it on players 1, I might have been zapped to death by that conviction aura souls combo. How interesting. Yeah, we're not fighting any Dark Lords here. Okay, we'll get this one Dark Lord and get the hell out of here. Ooh, okay, well, another one wants to come up and say hello. Sure, why not? You have been conscripted. Alright, thank you. And I lost my mercenary. Might have something to do with something. Do. Nope, nope, nope. Yes, okay. Alright, so let's go do a bail on players 1. This is the one place where the open wounds might actually matter. But he's going to get his cheek clapped so fast, it's going to be a little disturbing. At least that's what I think is going to happen. Lord knows I haven't done a Bales 1 in Project Diablo 2 in never. Stop moving, good sir. Stop moving and take your amplified damage like a man. Yeah, that's a little disturbing what's happening to him right now. Not gonna lie. Schwink. Schwink. He's like, oh my god, open wounds. Oh no, amp damage on him. Okay, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. Blap. Alright, cool. Whatever the hell that is. I gotta go sell this shit. So we can see what the hell is going on here. Dog shit. Dog shit. Dog shit. Crackers. Money in the bank. Money in the bank. 1 to crossbows. 33 bad resistances. Low. We like that. I remember that. Yeah. So that's pretty doggy. Yep. Okay. Back into the World Stone Keep. So yeah, so I've been looking into blood golems. And generally what I've discovered, Mage Wrath. Amazon skills, very low roll on the enhanced damage. This is an exceptional item. Guided arrow, magic arrow, blind. This is dog shit. Okay. That is crap. This is also crap. How are the weapons doing? Pretty shit. Okay. So yeah, so I've been looking into blood golems. The blood golems are quite interesting. I'm not going to lie. But as near as I can tell, what seems to be happening in the Project Diablo 2 community is that the vast majority of builds are being ranked based upon ladder. And again, on ladder, you can't adjust the player levels. And you end up with this weird phenomena where what is a good build on players 1 is what is a good build on a player's 8, which is not what is a good build in hardcore. Those are completely separate animals. So, for example, you can see the Poison Nova Necro is doing pretty good, like a good area of effect damage Necro. He might even have a cursed Necro down here somewhere. Dark Pact, yeah, that's a cursed Necro. And then you have a Bone Spear Proc Brand. Okay, that's interesting. So, for example, if I go over here and we go to Poison and Bone spells, you can see that Corpse Explosion is different. In Project Diablo 2, it's basically just a spell that does area of effect damage and fire damage. It doesn't add a percent of life. It adds a little bit damage, 5 to 10% of corpse life. Maybe that goes up as I put skill points into it, but I don't think it does. So generally speaking, you're looking at a spell that isn't that much different than Poison Nova. Poison Nova being a spell that's just going to poison everything around you and do X amount of damage per second. On players 1, spells like this are fucking amazing because, again, the enemies only have like 10,000 HP. But on players 8, when they shoot up to closer to 60,000 hit points, and their monster heal, which is probably close to like 3% life a second, monster heal does even more the enemy's healing goes up. Builds that are like this start to suck. The fire golem build, his video ranks fire golem build to be even better than like a blood golem build. The reason for this is because the fire golems basically all have holy fire aura on them, so they're doing some area of effect fire damage. Not only that, but they're doing like area of effect fire melee attacks. And on the lower difficulty settings, that's a good build. But on the higher difficulty settings, like higher players 8 count, builds like Blood Golem suddenly become absolutely fucking terrifying and amazing. And noticeably better than the skeleton summons and the skeleton mages and all that crap. So that was kind of interesting. The other weird thing that I found, let me pause the video here. Alright, so if I find a Project Diablo 2 skill calculator online, which is what we got going here. Scratching my eyeballs. Let's go to Necromancer. Necromancer. Boom. Okay. You're going to start noticing some weird-ass shit. Let's go 20 skills. 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 Info. About no info. We go back. Yes. Character quests completed. Okay. Alright, so we're going to put 20 points in all these fucking things right here. Temporarily. We're going to go down to charms, and we're going to give a plus 10 skills. So, without any damage whatsoever, or without any plus skills whatsoever, our skeleton warriors here, and they're being buffed a little bit, I think, by Raised Skeleton Archer, which I disapprove of, so we're going to remove that. They do about 300 damage. Is that about right? Oh, no, it's down here. Okay, we've got to remove all this. Boom, boom. We'll do 20 points here. That's more reasonable. You're going to see they do about 300 damage. Right? Like, whoop-de-fucking-do, with no skills whatsoever. If I put in plus 20 skills here, or plus 10 skills, they shoot up to doing over 600 damage. So that's a 100% increase in damage due to plus 10 skills. If I put in another plus 10 to all skills, they go from 600 to 1200, which means they've gained another plus 100% damage increase from an additional plus 10 skills. If I do another plus 10 skills, going up to 30 skills, which is getting to be about the most plus skills that you can really effectively get your hands on in Project Diablo 2, you can see that they are closer to 1900. So they haven't doubled their damage again from going from 1200 to 2400, but we're still looking at a noticeable damage increase. The exact same story ends up playing out with the skeleton mage and the skeleton mage build. So, for example, we look at the cold damage here. It's at like 2,500 right now on the low end. Actually, let's look at the fire damage. It's closer to 3,000. The fire no, we'll look at the cold. The cold is about 2,500 cold damage. If I remove a 10 skills, you can see that it dropped to 1,500, so a noticeable difference. From losing plus 10 skills. If we lose another plus 10 skills, it goes down to from 1,500 to 730. That's literally a doubling. So if I go plus 10 skills, that's going to shoot up to from 732 to like 1,500. So that's doubling in damage right there. And if we look at the actual base, it's like 250. So the moral of the story here is that the skeleton mages and basically all the skeletons scale like a motherfucker with plus skills. They suck a dick without plus skills. That might be when I switch from the blood golem build to a skeleton mage build why it sucks so bad, because I'm only working with like plus 10 skills at most right now on my character. That might be the reason. But I'll also note here that let's remove all these and go check out the current build that I'm using. Put one there, fucking 20 there, one there, one there, one there, and we'll put one there for shits and giggles. You're You'll notice that the blood golems here do not actually state. It states their damage. It states everything in the skill calculator, but the skill calculators might be a little bit old. The bonus damage from the synergies are not the same as it is in the Project Diablo 2 that I have going on here. So here it's like, 12% for going into Golem Mastery and Clay Golem and all that stuff. But over here in the skill calculator, they are 20%. I have concluded, however, that all the other information with this skill calculator is correct. The other thing that it's missing is that it's not telling me how much open wounds damage I gain. But I have concluded from from messing around with the game that they are actually going up in damage per level. So the open wounds damage is scaling as I put more and more skills into the damn thing. So it went from like plus 20 open wounds damage a level to plus 30 to plus 40. So the more skill points I put into the blood golems, the more plus skills I get, the higher and higher the open wound damage is getting. I have confirmed that the plus 12% synergies are increasing the open wounds damage as well. Yada, yada, yada. So yeah, so I'm not entirely sure what life will look like at a max build, like plus 30 skills or something like that. Will the skeletons actually start beating out the blood golems? But I do know that the blood golems are eventually going to have something stupid. Like on the low end, they're going to have like 2,000 open wound damage. Probably closer to like 2,500 open wound damage if I had to guess. Like unironically, like they're getting very close to like 50 open wound damage per level, and my current character when I summon these little bastards is, let's see how good it is these days. When I go to summon them, they are current level 33. Yeah, and when I find a plus skill shrine, their open wound damage is like 1,350. So they're gaining like 60 open wound damage per level, and that's only going to get better and better as it goes up. So even with current skills, let's think about this here really fast. At current skill level, I'm going to assume they're like going to be like level 55 when I try to summon them, because I'm going to put on gear to try to max them out. I might even be level 60 actually, but 55 is probably more reasonable. They'll probably be level 55-ish. So if I go 55 minus 33, which is what they're currently at, 22, and I assume a low end of like 70 additional open wound damage per level on these stupid things. Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay. Alright. Alright. 1230. Yeah, okay. So you're close to 2,800. Fucking hell. And I gotta add 300 for the base open wound damage in hell. Yeah, so they're gonna have close to 3,000. We'll lowball. Okay, since I high rolled a while ago, we'll say 3,000. They're gonna have something stupid like 3,000 open wound damage. I could get that even higher if I start plugging into their synergies. At this point, a synergy upgrade would be worth what exactly? 360 additional open wound damage per point I put into their synergies? Holy fucking criminy Christmas, Batman. Alright, so at 3,000 damage, there's, you get to stack that up to 3 times. There are 5 of these fucking golems. I can get up to 6 of these golems if I'm willing to give up an aura, which is a terrible idea. And then that's going to like double or triple from fuck, man. So I'm going to have like a 90,000 open wound dot damage on them at the low end. In practical reality, it's probably going to be closer to 100,000 open wound damage dot. That is some insane shit. So the moral of the story here, and I'll probably make a dedicated video about this later, but again, this is the what the hell have I been up to? Where the hell has Pallytime been? I've been in Project Diablo 2, and I've been in Diablo 2 in general. The reason why the blood golems are being overlooked right now in Project Diablo 2 is that they're actually, in their own weird way, overperforming. So, as near as I can tell, what's happening is if I build a skeleton army and I teleport around, I'll blow up everything around me very quickly on players 1. If I build a skeleton mage army and I teleport around, I'll blow up everything around me very quickly on players 1. If I build a demon machine, I'll blow up everything around me very quickly on players 1. If I build fire golems, I'll blow up everything around me very quickly on players 1. And even if I build blood golems, I'll teleport around and blow up everything very quickly on blood golems. And the sheer terrifying efficiency of their open wound damage, because you're killing everything so quickly anyways, is just lost, right? It's just lost. But if you put it on players 8 and you start getting into the really high level maps, right? So for example, here we have a fortified map. I don't have any fortification orbs. That sucks. Let's go here. I don't have any really high level maps because again, this character's pretty new. So this is an item that I can use to fortify maps. It'll double the health of monsters inside of maps, double the amount of experience I get, increase their damage by 20%, give you ×2 loot, like, you know, stuff like that. But the monsters in the maps can already get pretty scary. So here it says, is there anything scary here? Players have -19 to all resistances. Map contains Stygian dolls. Monsters have plus 56% chance to pierce. That's pretty scary. 9% life stolen per hit. 9% increased maximum life. The monsters can get really, really fucking hard to kill in these maps. Especially when I start getting into the really higher level maps, like, you know, level 4 maps or tier 4 maps and so forth. So I think they have tier 4 maps. Yeah, monsters have 28% increased maximum life. Monsters have 17, almost 1,800 replenished life, so they're actually healing in your face. That replenished life is not affected by open wounds or prevent monster heal, as near as I can tell. Maybe it is affected by prevent monster heal, but I've seen their health bar go up while I'm beating on them, and that's pretty interesting. 11% of physical damage is extra magic damage. Monster density, magic find, experience. The monsters get really, really strong and really, really hard to kill, especially on players 8. I can open a map right now if we want to see that. I mean, why the hell not? This is on players 8. Let's go over here. This is the pierce damage one and the Stygian dolls, right? Yeah. So other than that, nothing's really all that scary. But if we go in here on players 8, okay, we're not set up to do this yet. Okay, cast that. All right, cool. So if we go into here on players 8, okay, these are, fuck, Pierce. Oh my god, that hurt. Please kill them. I need to go get some revives. Oof, ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Owie. First off, we need some rejuves. Yes, I know I can stack them. Thank you. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. We need some revives, like really bad. That pierced. Okay, cool. We'll get some snowmen. They at least can stun shit. Oof. All right. Are we on players 8 or are we on players 1? I think we're on. We were on players 1. Okay, so we can see the difference here in a second. So we were murdering these guys on players 1. Watch what happens when some shit comes as players 8. These guys might still be players 1, though. So let's keep running around a little bit. That's a homunculus. Nobody cares. Just to make sure it's not a homunculus. Humongous. That's the war axe, right? Yeah, that's the standard war axe. That's a piece of shit. Okay. Stygian dolls, players 8. Alright, but watch players 8 here. This is like a fortified players 8. Yeah, shit ain't dying anymore, is it? Are these things normally physically immune? Because they're not dying for shit. Let me see. Gotta wait for it to wear off. Aren't you guys dying for shit? What's going on here? Ah, fuck, they're physically immune. Okay. That explains why they're not dying for shit. On players 8, too. Ugh, so sad. Let's try to find some snowmen so we can actually see the difference here now, because we were murdering the snowmen before quite quickly. But yeah, now they're not dying quite quickly at all. And the vast majority of our damage is actually coming from open wounds. But if we hover over these guys, they're actually going to be healing like motherfuckers because of all that +8. So you put it on players 8 here, and you're just basically in a completely different world. You are literally in a completely different world of difficulty. Oh, I should go revive those guys really quickly. 1, 2. Oh yeah, they still pierce. That sucks. Because we're not killing these guys anytime soon. So I'm just going to try to ignore them. Ugh. They must have a really... It's players 8. I normally do these things on players 3. Basically, if there's no... If the map doesn't have any physical immunes, I can play it on players 8 pretty well. But players 8 plus physical immune, it's just... I'm not there yet. Let's put it that way. We're just not there yet with this character. That's for fucking sure. Okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, the pierce. Fuck pierce damage. The melee damage is also piercing through and all that shit. So, yeah, that's going to be a shitty map. And we just have to deal with that. Let's go down to players 3. Players 3. We will try to recover here. Alrighty then. Even though recovery is going to be a little painful. It's going to be painful because those monsters that have already spawned, they're going to be players 8 monsters. So recovery here might not even be possible. But we'll give it a go. Why is the starting location infested? That's not good. Especially with the these players 8 mobs and my shitty ass summoning golems. Yeah, we're kind of boned. We might be boned here. The best thing we can do... Fucking pierce damage, man. Yeah, the pierce damage is going to get us. Okay. Yeah, we might be boned here. I might have to just give up on this map in general. Which is sad, but sometimes that happens. Players 8, though. I can try toughen it out. We should be able to do this, toughening it out. I just don't want to waste the time in the video recovering the body, lowering the resistances. But yeah, so I'm probably going to get into making some Project Diablo 2 videos. And specifically, I'm going to start making videos for what's probably overlooked content. And the overlooked guide content is in Players 8 builds. Because these builds that are listed here are basically going to be dog shit on Players 8. Poison Nova on Players 8 difficulty in these maps is going to be terrible. Desecrate's going to be terrible. Poison Strike might be okay in Players 8. Bone Spear is going to suck. Bone Wall, Iron Maiden might be good on Players 8 because at least the monsters... not really. The monster damage goes up by like 70%, and their damage, their HP bar literally is a multiplier of like almost 6 times their HP bar. So Iron Maiden's going to suck on Players 8, and the regeneration goes up as well. So yeah, the Iron Maiden should start sucking on Players 8 as well. Corpse Explosion will be okay on Players 8 because at least it scales with percent health damage increase. But I'm pretty sure these fucking guides have no idea what the hell they're doing on Players 8. So yeah. So anyways, talked long enough. I'm the end of the video here. I'm going to go try to recover this. I will mention in the comments section whether or not I successfully am able to recover this or not, or if I have to quit. And yeah, Deus Volt, I am back, and expect more videos to come out soon. Yeah, GG's.